S. Ramraj, Associate Professor, Electrical and Electronics Engineering, PSN College of Engineering and Technology. Today, I am going to discuss about the microprocessor architecture. Contents in brief. First, I am going to tell about the microprocessor, then where we are using the microprocessor, then some important features of the microprocessor, then architecture of microprocessor. Architecture of microprocessor 8086 divided into two types, PAU unit and UU unit. BAU means bus interface unit, EU means execution unit. Then I discuss about the flag register. Then I just want to discuss about the few important points of microprocessor 8086. Microprocessor 8086. Microprocessor acts as a functioning mechanism of a computer, mobile and some electronic devices. Here, if we are considering the electronic devices of lights and fans, it's not having the microprocessor. Suppose if you are going to mobile phone, computer, digital camera, laptop, micro oven, washing machines, sugar testing kit, this kind of instruments having processor inside the devices where we are performing some arithmetical logical operations. That's why here we need microprocessor. So this kind of devices having microprocessor, lights and fans, just switch with the help of switch, we are just making the two operations on and off. So this one do not need microprocessor. These processors have an algorithm that is programmed according to the instructions given. Next we move on to the architecture of microprocessor. The microprocessor architecture mainly divided into two main parts. One is bus interfacing unit, another one is execution unit. Bus interface unit fetching all the instructions. With the help of instruction only microprocessor is working. So bus interface unit will be fetching all the informations or instructions. Execution unit will execute those instructions parallelly. Okay, here bus interfacing units having some parts, important parts, execution unit having some important parts. Let's discuss one by one. First one is, this one is for summing unit. Here we are calculating the physical address of the memory. Physical address, with the help of this physical address where we need to fetch the instruction we could find. For that we are fetching the information from the physical address only. So for calculating the physical address we need some segment address and offset address. With the help of segment address and offset address only we are finding the physical address, and from that physical address only we are inferring or fetching the instruction, input instructions. Okay, here some segment registers and all that. Okay, ES, CS, SS, DS and IP. Okay, these are the segment register. With the help of these segment registers and inside the segment registers offset address is there. With the help of segment address and offset address we are finding the physical address. From the physical address, with the help of physical address from the memory interface we are taking the instructions. Those instructions will be keeping in the queue. This one is for prefetch queue. Here only we are keeping the instructions. Okay, from the instruction that instruction will be given to the execution unit. In that queue, the instruction having the data, it will directly give it to the execution unit. In the prefetch queue, if the data is directly available, that value will be directly given to the execution unit. Suppose the input data will be given in the address form. At that time, that will be given to the control system. The control system will be finding the or decode the instructions. Then after decoding that instruction, that value will be given to the execution unit. Okay, in execution unit there will be some general purpose registers will be there. AX, BX, CX and DX. AX, BX, CX and DX, like that. Some general purpose registers are there. These instructions are all useful for doing the arithmetic operations. Then stack pointer, base pointer, stack pointer, data index, source index, like that. Few registers also there for calculating the offset address. Then we need to use the arithmetic and logic unit. With the help of arithmetic and logical unit, we can perform the arithmetical and logical operations. Okay, operands are nothing but your temporary register. It's temporarily performing the operations. Flag register is nothing but your flag. It is used to source the results of the arithmetic and logic unit status. Arithmetic and logic unit will give the result. That result status will be checked with the help of flag registers. This is the overall preview of the architecture of microprocessor 8086. Okay, let's discuss some points. First one is bus interface unit. This one will be useful to fetch the instruction from memory, input output devices, and write the data to memory, write data to the input output ports, read data from input output ports. Bus interface units divided into three functional parts. One is instruction pointer, second one is segment register, third one is instruction queue. Instruction pointer, it's a 16-bit register used to store the data. It holds the address of the next instruction to be executed. Instruction pointer, it holds the address of the next instruction to be executed. Segment register. The memory space 1 MB of 8086 is segmented into 4 blocks. Each block specify register with the maximum size of 64 KB. Code segment 64 having code segment holding 64 KB, data segment holding 64 KB, stack segment holding 64 KB, extra segment holding 64 KB. Next, instruction queue. Bus interface unit fetches instruction byte while executing unit is executing operations. The prefetched instructions saved in a group of high-speed registers known as instruction queue. The second part is execution unit. To tell BIU where to fetch the instruction or data from. To decode the instruction, execute the instruction. It contains control circuitry to perform various internal operations. Execution unit divided into 5 functional parts. First one is general purpose registers. Second one is pointer and index registers. Then ALU, arithmetic and logical units, flag registers, timing and control unit. General purpose register. 8086 microprocessor consists of 4 general purpose registers of 16 bits. That 4 general purpose registers and are AX, BX, CX and DX. All AX, BX, CX and DX having 16 bits. We can directly use the 16 bits or if you want to use 8 bits only, we can split the AX, BX, CX and DX like AH AL, BH BL, CH CL, DH DL. Like that you can divide into 2 parts. Each one divided into 2 parts, 8 bit, like that 2 bits we can split, and you can use AL or AH, BL or BH, CL or CH, DL or DH. Like that we can, for 8 bit way also we can use the general purpose registers. Pointer and indexed register. 8086 has 2 pointers and indexed registers. Stack pointer SP, base pointer PP, source index SI, destination index DI. Then arithmetic and logic unit. This one 16-bit ALU, 16-bit arithmetic and logic unit perform arithmetic and logical operations 8-bit as well as 16-bit. Next we are discussing about the flag registers. 8086 has 16-bit flag register where 9 flags are used, 7 flags are not used. 9 flags are used, 7 flags not used. Among 9 flags, we divide it to 2 categories. One is status flags, another one is control flags. One is status flag, another one is control flags. 6 status flags are CF, carry flag, PF, parity flags, AF, auxiliary carry flag, ZF, zero flag, ACF, sign flag, OF, overflow flag. Like that 6 category ways we can split the status flags. 6 status flags are CF, carry flag, PF, parity flag, AF, auxiliary carry flag, ZF, zero flag, ACF, sign flag, OF, overflow flag. Then as I told you earlier, after finding the result, we need to check the status of the result. For that only we are using the flag registers. Then another three flag registers also there. One is TF, trap flag, IF, index flag, DF, direction flag. TF, trap flag, IF, interrupt flag, DF, direction flag. Like that 3 more flags are there. This will used for processing purposes. With suitable examples, I am going to discuss about the flags. So, status flags and all: carry flag, auxiliary carry flag, zero flag, sign flag, parity flag and overflow flag. Control flags and all indicating control status. This will control flag used for indicating control status. Direction flag, DF, interrupt enable flag, IF, trap flag, TF. 6 status flags and 3 control flags. Totally 9 flag registers are available in the microprocessor 8086. Let's discuss the flag registers with suitable examples. I am just going to add the value of 48H. H means hexadecimal value and 54H. If I am adding the hexadecimal value of 48H and 54H, I can get the result 9CH. I am just converting into binary value. So for 4, 0, 1, 0, 0 for 4, for 8, 1, 0, 0, 0. I am converting this one into binary value. Like that, 54 will be converted into 0, 1, 0, 1 for 5, for 4, 0, 1, 0, 0. Next I am planning to add both the values. 0 plus 0, I will get the result 0. 0 plus 0, again 0. 0 plus 1, the result will be 1. 1 plus 0, the result will be 1. Okay. 0 plus 1, 1. 0 plus 0, 0. 1 plus 1, 0. Sum value is 0. Carry value will be 1. Then 1 plus 0 plus 0, the result will be 1. Next we are going to check the flag status. So carry flag. If I am taking the carry flag, so I need to check the carry flag. This one is for least significant. You are checking the result. The least significant bit is 0 and most significant bit is 1. After the most significant bit, any carry is coming. After the most significant bit, if any carry is coming, that time carry flag will be set to 1. If no carry is coming next to most significant bit, then the carry flag will be set to 0. So you are finding the result. This one is for most significant bit. This one is the least significant bit. After the most significant bit, any carry is coming, the carry flag will be set to 1. If no carry is coming, at that time carry flag is set to 0. Here no carry is coming next to the most significant bit, so carry flag will be set to 0. Next I am going to check the parity flag. Parity flag means if here you just count the number of ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. If the number of ones present in the result will be even number, at that time parity flag set to 1. If the number of ones present in the result will be odd numbers, at that time the parity flag will be set to 0. Here you just count 1, 2, 3, 4. The number of ones available in the result will be even number 4. Since 4 ones are there, so the parity flag will be set to 1. Next one is auxiliary carry flag. AF means auxiliary carry flag. This one is for 8-bit data. This 8-bit data will be divided into 2 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is one part. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one is one part. I mean that 8 bits will be divided into 2 parts. Each part we can say nipple. N-I-P-B-L-E. Nipple. Okay. So this one is your first nipple. This one is for second nipple. First nipple, from the first nipple result. From the first nipple result, any carry goes to the next nipple. At that time parity flag will be at that time auxiliary carry flag set to 1. If no carry is going from this this nipple to this nipple, at that time the auxiliary carry flag will be set to 0. If carry is going from the left nipple to if the if carry is going to the right nipple to the left nipple, at that time auxiliary carry flag will be set to 1. If no carry is going from the right nipple to the left nipple, at that time auxiliary carry flag will be set to 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is for right nipple. From the right nipple, no carry is going to the left nipple. So the auxiliary carry flag will be set to 0. Then you just go for ZF. ZF means 0 flag. ZF means 0 flag. If the results having all the values are 0, at that time 0 flag set to 1. If any 1 is coming, at that time 0 flag set to 0. If all the values are 0, then only 0 flag set to 1, otherwise 0. So here 1, here 1, here 1, here 1. So many ones are occurring. So 0 flag will be set to 0 only. Next, sign flag. The most significant bit is 0. At that time, sign flag set to 0. If the most significant bit is set to 1, at that time, sign flag set to 1. So here you see the most significant bit will be set to 1. So sign flag will be set to 1. Next we need to check the overflow flag. After making the addition, the result will be 9C. If the 9C value will be greater than 7F. If the 9C value will be greater than what you are getting the result, that result value will be greater than 7F. At that time we can say overflow value will be set to 1. You are getting some result. After getting the result value will be greater than the 7F. At that time overflow flag set to 1. If what you are finding the result value is less than 7F, at that time overflow flag will be set to 0. 9C is greater than the 7F value. 9C is greater than 7F. So overflow value will be set to 1. Next let me check the second example. So I am taking the value of 39H and 28H. I am just adding. So first I just convert this value into binary values for 3, 0, 0, 1, 1. Then 9, 1, 0, 0, 1. Next 2, 8 I am taking for 2, 0, 0, 1, 0. Then for 8, 1, 0, 0, 0. Next I am going to add these values. 39H and 28H will be converted into binary values, and the binary values will be getting added. 1 plus 0, 1, 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 1 plus 1, some value is 0, carry value is 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 0, the value will be some value is 0, carry value 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, some value 1, carry value 1. So 1 plus 0 plus 0, some value 1. Then 0 plus 0, some value will be 0. This is our result. Suppose this binary result will be converted into hexadecimal value. The hexadecimal value will be 61H. Next check the status of the flags. First let me check the carry flag. As I told you earlier, we need to check the after the most significant bit, any carry has come or not, you check it. Here after the addition value will be 0, no carry is going next to the most significant bit. So carry flag will be set to 0. Next I need to check parity flag. Parity flag. Here you check the number of ones. 1, 2, 3. Odd number of ones are there. If the number of ones present in the result will be even numbers, at that time only parity flag will be set to 1. Here odd number of ones are available, so parity flag will be set to 0. Next we need to check the auxiliary carry flag. So first we can split the result into 4 nipple. This one is for 1, 0, 0, 1. This one is for right nipple. 1100. This one is for left nipple. From the right nipple to left nipple, carry is going. So auxiliary carry flag will be set to 1. So previous case, no carry is going from the right nipple to the left nipple. So auxiliary carry flag will be set to 0. As far as this case is concerned, from the right nipple to the left nipple, carry is going. So auxiliary carry flag will be set to 1. Next, you need to check the result. In that result, all the values are 0, then only 0 flag will be set to 1. Even any one is present, at that time 0 flag will be set to 1. Then here one is there, here one is there, here one is there. So 0 flag will be set to 0. Next, the most significant bit value will be 0. So sign bit value will be, sign bit register will be set to 0. Next, we need to check the overflow flag. So this value, the end result will be 61H. This 61H will be less than the 7F value. So overflow will be set to 0. So once the result is crossing the 7F value, at that time only overflow value will be set to 1. Here the 61 will be less than the 7F, so overflow will be set to 0. Next, we need to check next we need to discuss some important points in microprocessor 8086. The parts of the bus interface units are address generation unit and prefetch queue, then address generation unit and prefetch queue are important parts of the microprocessor 8086. Let me go to the architecture. This one is the address generation unit. This one is the address generation unit. Here only we are finding the physical address. The summing point is for address generation unit. Here only we are finding the physical address of the instruction. How can we calculate the physical address? The formula is there. Physical address is equal to segment address. These are all segments. From these segment registers, we are finding the address, segment address. That segment address value will be multiplied with 10H plus, if we are adding the offset address, then we could find the physical address. After finding the physical address only, we can fetch the information and keep it in the prefetch queue. Okay, prefetch queue. Here only we are keeping. So after keeping the instruction in the prefetch queue, the instruction is giving direct data. That data will be given to the execution unit directly. Suppose it's in the address form, then that value will be given to the control system. The control system will be decoding the instruction. After decoding, it gives the data to the general purpose registers. Then after the value is stored in the general purpose register, it will go to the arithmetic and the logical unit. After going the arithmetic and logical unit, it will perform the operations. For performing the operation, there will be some temporary registers under there. That one is nothing but your operands. Then final result you can find. After finding the final result, we should check the errors and status. For that we are using flag registers. Then in address generation unit we can calculate the physical address. How can we calculate? Physical address equal to segment address. Okay, 4 segments are there, each segment having that address. That segment address will be finding the correct place. For finding the correct positioning, we need to multiply the segment address, multiply with 10H, then that multiplied value will be added with the offset address. Then finally what you are finding the value is your physical address. Then that value will be given to the prefetch queue. Okay, the prefetch queue is 6-byte prefetch queue. Here two important things we are considering. One is pipelining, then another one is segmentation. Let's discuss the pipelining and segmentation. So as I told earlier, microprocessor will be divided into 2 units. One is bus interface unit, second one is execution unit. Microprocessor 8086 divided into 2 units. One is bus interface unit, second one is execution unit. Bus interface unit useful for fetching the informations from the input-output devices and the memory device or external device. From that it fetches the informations and gives us the information to execution unit for execution. Execution unit not directly fetching any instruction from the any part of the things, input output devices, memory or external devices. From nowhere it's finding the it's fetching the information directly. It gets the information from the bus interface unit only. Okay. Okay, bus interface unit will be fetching the information. That information will be given to the execution unit. Then after getting the information, the bus execution unit will be executing. At the time of execution of the execution unit, the bus interface unit won't be ideal. Okay, during the execution of the execution unit, the bus interface unit not in the holding mode. It keeps fetching the informations and keep those informations in the prefetch queue. Okay, so during the execution time also it's fetching the information and get it ready for the next instruction. Like that it's keeping. So parallel it's doing. So the name of the process we can say that one is pipelining. During the execution of the program also, during the execution time also, bus interface unit fetching the information and keep it in the prefetch queue. So this one is nothing but your pipelining. This one will be speed up the processing time. Next, segmentation. Next, some important points we need to remember is segmentations. So here we need to discuss about the microprocessor 8086 features. Microprocessor 8086 features is concerned. This one is for 16-bit microprocessor. 8086 is for 16-bit microprocessor. So here 16 data lines are there and 20 address lines are there. Microprocessor 8086 is 16-bit register. This one have 16 data lines and 20 address lines. And this one have the 1 megabyte memory. Microprocessor have 1 megabyte memory. That 1 megabyte memory will be segmented: extra segment, code segment, stack segment and data segment and instruction pointer. Like that the memory will be segmented. The memory will be segmented as extra segment, code segment, stack segment and data segment, like that segmented. What is the necessity we are segmenting that memory? Suddenly the question may raise in our mind, what is the necessity we are segmenting the memory of the microprocessor 8086? Here 1 megabyte memory will be divided into 4 segment value: extra segment, code segment, stack segment and data segment. What is the necessity we are making the segmentations? Suppose, for example, I am considering one toy example. If I am giving one book, that book having 1000 number of pages. That book is having 1000 number of pages. I am asking one information. So what you will do? You just flip all the 1000 pages and finding the informations. Instead of that, I am segmented that book. How can I segment? 250, 250, 250, like that. Four parts I am splitting. 250, 250, 250, 250, like that. 4 segment I am splitting. I told you in third segment that information is there. Like that, I am giving the hint means you can directly go to third segment only. You are going to check only the third segment only. So you could easily find the information. For that purpose only, we are making the segmentation. Understand? So if I am giving the book, that book is having 1000 number of pages. If I am asking some information, you need to flip the 1000 pages and finding the information. Instead of that, I segmented that book 250 plus 250 plus 250 plus 250. I told you the hint. Third segment only that information is there. Then you just go to directly to the third segment. From the third segment, you can fetch the information very easily. For that purpose only, we are going for easy accessing. We are using the segmentation. Then this general purpose registers AX, BX, CX and DX, it will be split into 2 parts: AL, AH, BL, PH, CL, CH, DL, DH. Then status flag already we discussed. Status flag, carry flag, auxiliary carry flag, zero flag, sign flag, parity flag and overflow flag. Next we should see the control flag. Control flag indicating control status. Here direction flag is there, interrupt enable flag is there, trap flag is there. Let's discuss one by one. First let me start with the trap flag. Suppose any program, if you are checking, that program have some 100 lines are there. Okay, you need to check 100 lines one by one. Instead of checking each lines, that trap flag TF is equal to 1, like that. Any particular instruction, after any particular instruction, if you are giving TF is equal to 1, like that, if you are giving, from that instruction only you need to carry out the checking operations. 100 lines are there. After 50th line only we need to check, means after 50th line we are giving TF is equal to 1, like that. If we are giving, the 58th line will be checked, then 51, 52, then up to 100, each line will be checked and give the error and status it's giving. So for that purpose only we are using trap flag we are using. Then interrupt enable flag. We are executing the program. During the execution of the program, if you are giving IF is equal to 1, like that, any particular place if you are giving, that time the interrupt will be allowed. So at that time we can give some interrupt signal and we can do some operations. So that one is called interrupt enable flag. Direction flag means direction flag is equal direction flag greater than 0 direction flag is equal to 0, at that time the instruction will be direction flag is equal to 1 means each instruction will be next instruction like that. Decrement way each instruction will be executed. If DF value will be 1, it will be decremented. Instruction, first instruction, next instruction like that it will go. If the DF value is 0, at that time it will take the action in a reverse way, like that. For direction of checking, we can give the direction flag. Direction flag is equal to 0 or direction flag is equal to 1. Direction flag is equal to 1, the instruction will be decremented. Direction flag is equal to 0, then the instruction will be incremented. With the help of this, we can make the movement of direction, downward direction or upward direction. Then timing and control unit. The control unit of execution unit direct all internal operations and also responsible for generation of control signals. Let me wind up the microprocessor architecture 8086. Thank you.